Good morning, you guys. It is Monday morning and we woke up early this morning. Luke and I went to bed early last night, finally, so we could wake up early without being exhausted. But it is about 7 in the morning. I've been up since about 6:15. All right, so tell me how I bought 2 chapsticks literally a day and a half ago and I don't know where they are. They're completely missing. It's beyond me. This happens to me all the time. I always lose my chapstick, like so bad. And then I find it in the weirdest places around like a year later or so. Okay, as you saw, we're making a turmeric chai latte. I'm gonna pour it in real quick. All right, so good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great start to your morning, or whenever you're watching this, that you're having a good day. I am not drinking coffee this morning because I'm trying to cut back on my caffeine, actually. I get really jittery lately and I just have not been feeling the best with coffee, but I still do like the taste of it. And the decaf coffee is just not my favorite. So it's a weird place that I'm in right now with that. But anywho, today on the agenda, we have so much to do. I'm trying to launch furniture by tomorrow. Oh my gosh, that'd be really aggressive. No, I'm trying to launch the furniture biz next week. So website is underway. I have to go photograph a few more pieces that are right now in the storage unit. So whenever I can get those photographed, which is going to be today, I'm going to load them to site after editing them, and then we're going to start doing social launches. So I have to do like a social plan pre-launch, which is why I love ChatGPT, because I don't like social media for brands. Something about it just, I think when I was really young in my career and I went to work for a really small agency in Tallahassee, they would stick me with the social media for the most boring clients. Like, one was Danimer Scientific, and it literally was just about like polymers, plastics, polymers, etc., stuff like that. And I had to make 4 posts a week for them. And the client gave us no material, like none. I had to make it up from what was on their website and what I found online and random holidays like National Trash Day or something, I don't know. But anyway, I think I have a little bit of PTSD from that. So now I'm very hesitant and I don't really like social for brands, and that was reflected when I was in the agencies that I worked in. What I'm now realizing is that I actually really do like social, because that's what I do part-time with you guys and on TikTok and such. So I just need to put together a plan, and I think that's my favorite part about anything, is if I have a plan, I feel prepared and I can execute on that plan. So our BFF ChatGPT is going to help me put together a social launch plan. I do have assets to do that. So I have like preview posts and all that stuff, iconography, typography, color palette, etc., to create stuff. So that's what we're going to work on later today when we're home. I'm not going to even try to do that this morning. But this morning what we're going to do is I'm going to go on a little walk. I'm feeling super antsy, super anxious, and I think it's just because I'm a little bit chomping at the bit, but also, as you guys might have seen in my last video, I'm afraid to go back to the storage unit because of that guy that I ran into when I was there. It was just, the more I think about it, the more of an off-putting experience that was, and the more I realized he said some really, really, really weird things, like, oh, well, I will never want to take your car. I'm like, sir, is that considering in your mind? Because if it is, that's a problem. So I'm gonna take my handy dandy little pepper spray, and you know what? The goal is I am trying to move out into a commercial space in 2 collection flips. So I need to flip this collection, I need to flip the next one that I gather, and I can give myself the reward of looking for a more formal showroom, even if it's small. I need motivation to get out of that storage unit. So yeah, I'm excited to work towards that. It's a good goal to have, but I never said hello to you guys. Hi everyone, welcome back to the vlog. I'm so happy you're here. I kind of turned you so you wouldn't be facing the same background you always face. But yeah, I am drinking my little turmeric chai latte, or I'm trying to. It's gonna burn the shiz out of my tongue in a second. Oh, I think it's bad. That was awful. There's no expiration date on this. What the heck? So now what we're gonna do is make our little to-do list here. So you guys already know my girl. She's gonna be here with us. If you guys are wondering where this pen came from, it came from a shop in Peru and they just gave me it and I was like, sure, I'll take her home. So now we're gonna read a little bit of Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. I've been reading this book and I am obsessed with it. It pumps me up. That sounds so weird, but it like gives me motivation just because oh gosh, this angle's so weird. He has like a really interesting backstory. So I picked this up because Luke thought it was really good and I just needed a book to read. So I was like, why not? And I love it. Like I had to stop reading it before bed because my mind would go way too fast. And I woke up this morning with really low motivation, and as you guys know, I've been struggling really hard with like the comparison game. So I'm gonna read this just to pump myself up a little bit. I'm almost done with the book, which is a little sad, but I think I would reread it because it's kind of one of those books. It's almost like self-help meets short stories that tie into an overarching longer storyline of his life. It's an autobiography and the way he does it is so interesting. He kind of defies the norm for writing a book, and he has like little, pretty much every other page, little poems or little sayings or whatever he thinks is impactful for that section. He's accrued all of these different writings, and he actually would record his own voice and like video diary and audio diary his life as it went on back like however many years ago, and they transcribed a lot of it and he put a lot of the transcriptions in. So here's the page that I'm on, and then when you flip the page it's like normal book. So this is just to further enrich the reading experience. It's just a couple poems that he has and they tie into the story he just told. So good. It always brings me so much joy and motivation, and I just really like it. And I think that it's gonna be a good book for me to come back to over and over again. And it's really impacted me and brought me, the book has brought me a lot of light in a time where I'm now settling into my new reality of I'm no longer 9 to 5. And sometimes it's hard to find meaning in a culture where 9 to 5 is the norm, and he kind of defies all of that. So it's been very awesome to read and see you can still have a successful and enriched and beautiful life that doesn't have to look like everybody else's. So I'm gonna read this little bit and then we're gonna go on a little walkie walk. Okay. Uh-oh. I don't know if Luke put out the recycling. I'm gonna read a couple of my favorite lines from here. Sometimes which choice you make is not as important as making a choice and committing to it. I thought that was so good. It's in one of his little excerpts down here. That one doesn't really make, some of these don't really make a lot of sense, but they make sense in the context that you read them in. It just kind of shows how wild his mind is. But I thought this was really interesting because I think it could also be a metaphor. It could be extracted into use of my own personal life, anyone's life, especially people that have a lot going on. So Ella was 6 months pregnant when I got a call from my film production office in Venice, California. The number came up on caller ID and I reached to pick up the phone. My hand paused mid-reach. I didn't want to answer it. A call from my production office, the office where I had paid the rent and staff since 1996. I didn't answer it. Instead, I called my lawyer and said, I'm shutting down the production company immediately. I'll call everybody and let them know tomorrow. I want to give very generous severance packages. Shut down JK Living Records as well. It was time to clean house. Process of elimination. I had 5 things on my proverbial desk to tend to daily. Family, foundation, acting, a production company, and a music label. I felt like I was making B's in all 5. By shutting down the production company and the music label, I eliminated 2 of my 5 commitments with plans to make A's in the other 3. I told my lawyer I wanted to take care of my family, my foundation, and be an actor for hire. Simplify, focus, conserve to liberate. All right, all right, all right. That's just so good because you guys know this. I am always so busy. I travel so much, and Luke and I have seriously begun speaking about we need to slow down. Like, we need to slow down, even though we're young, and yes, we should go and do crazy stuff and be young, whatever, but we're not taking care of us. We leave little trails of ourselves in the airport, in the airplane, in the Uber, on the way to the Airbnb, in the Airbnb. It's like we have less and less of ourselves to come back home to. And I don't think that's how travel should be. Obviously, there are obligations when you travel. Sometimes you have a wedding, sometimes you have to go see family, and there's just things that are out of your control. But a lot of our travel this year has been in our control, and it's kind of taught me that I get very disoriented, and when I come home, I'm actually more stressed than I should be. So we've talked about dialing that back, and I feel like that's kind of speaking to that, is I have to make a decision, I have to make a choice, and I have to commit to it, and that choice is a little bit less travel, and I'm glad for it. I'm excited for this next year. Even though it's only September, I'm already thinking about next year, and I just think that having a little bit of a slower pace will make us really a lot happier. So if you have things in your life that you can eliminate that bring you a lot of just stress, and you know, sometimes you can't avoid it, but if you can, process of elimination. Also, my square came in for transacting. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I can't believe it's here. Oh my gosh, y'all, it looks so good. I might need to bring my iPad everywhere I go. But it like plugs in here, and it's like a, you know, like the chip reader. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's here. How exciting, am I right? Wow. Already know the drill. I'm actually trying a new flavor today. Get the chocolate mint cookie. All right, I mix it with collagen, my vegan protein that I get from Phorm. So this is another giveaway that I'm announcing. If you want a Phorm protein, whether it's vegan or not, I'm giving one away. Okay, so this wood piece behind me is so heavy. Like I can barely lift one side of it to prop it up by myself. So I have my little sliders underneath it, and this is really hard. Oh gosh, I can do it. I can do this. Come on. All right, that's actually my favorite piece because of the way that it opens up. So that's why it weighs so much. I nearly just broke my back moving it, but we're finished shooting. Thank the Lord. This has been stressing me out so bad because I needed to do it so I could launch. So I'm gonna grab the rugs, and the rugs are the only thing left to shoot. I'm gonna just do that tomorrow, but yeah, don't have to come back to the storage unit except to get measurements, so I can just do that whenever. It is much later in the day, probably like 3 hours since we've chatted, making some dinner. So I just used the cauli stir fry from TJ's, Trader Joe's. There's some Totinos that I'm gonna make for Garden Club in a little bit, and then I just got some chicken that I made last night out, and I snipped it up with the scissors, and then I threw some teriyaki sauce on it. If Luke's super hungry, I'm gonna tell him he can make these gyoza from Trader Joe's, but if not, I think that's plenty of food, and if the boy eats all that, I'm gonna be a little bit concerned. Okay, oh, I hate when I sit down and I have another chore to do. I need more water. Eating some of this stir fry situation, then we're gonna do the things that I don't wanna do. So, pay credit card, apply for a business license. We took pictures of the furniture. We got Garden Club snacks. I have to work on some other items for the shop. And then, yeah, I think I'm gonna just knock out the little business tasks and then just make the Totinos for later today and then call it a day. But yeah, this meal is super fast. If you have a Trader Joe's by you, you can even buy the grilled chicken that they have pre-made there, and it'll take less than 5 minutes, and it's so good. And it's pretty healthy. So good. All right, let's work, shall we? Oh yeah, look at my little apron. I think Luke got this literally before we got engaged as well. So he's had all the kitchen stuff. Good morning, peeps. We are experiencing some back pain today. Frick me. So basically, last night I went up to go to the bathroom and my lower back like completely seized up. I had to like roll out of bed. And you guys know, like I've been complaining about my back for some time now, so I think I'm gonna ask my doctor. I haven't messaged her yet, womp womp. But I think I need to ask her where I need to go to get an MRI, because it's just so odd that this is happening to me. So I want to get my lower back and my hips MRI'd, and I have like a click in my right knee that I've had for years. So I also want to get that MRI'd. So yeah, yay. I love getting older, even though I'm young. So annoying. But anyhow, I wanted to work out this morning and do like a more intense workout, but that's definitely not gonna happen. So I think what I'm gonna do is just do some bike downstairs. I haven't worked out in our gym in a very long time, so I think I'm just gonna get that done. I'm gonna look at the class schedule real quick though. Okay, yeah, we are just gonna do a little bit of devotional. I used this hair mask last night. It was from Sunbum and I actually love it. My hair feels so good and it's so shiny. And since I've stopped going into an office every day, I don't have to put heat to it every day, and I've noticed a huge difference in my hair. So as you guys know, we're just gonna do 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna do some pre-workout and go downstairs and do some bike. Let's go. Also, wow, the light. I did want to mention this. Sometimes when I didn't have time in the mornings, I don't want, what am I trying to say? If you don't have time in the mornings, right when you wake up, to do devotional, to have quiet time, to have mindfulness time, whatever it may be, don't let that discourage you from doing it later in the day. If a right before bed works best for you, like the kids are down, you have quiet time, you're able to kind of go downstairs or be in your room and just have a second, do that. I know that I see a lot of influencers and content creators, I guess they're interchangeably the same thing, do it right when they wake up in the morning. That's kind of like the status quo. But no, you can definitely do it anytime that works for you. It doesn't have to be right when you wake up to set your day up. It could honestly be even more useful later in the day to kind of reflect on what the day has brought, how you want to make the next day better, whatever it may be. So if you ever feel discouraged because you can't get to it in the morning because your life is crazy town, don't let it hold you back from doing it when you can. And honestly, I would do it at work sometimes, around lunch when my meetings would die down, when I would have time between like client calls. I would get lunch, I would get my lunch heated up, and then I would go to like a quiet corner in the office and just do a little bit of devotional time, literally 7 to 10 minutes. So do what works for you. And don't feel discouraged if you can't do what someone like me does or what somebody does that you watch online. You just do you, girl, and or guy, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of this. I have a little pump candle going on. I'm not one for fall. As you can see, it's like craziness over there. I'm not really one for fall, but you know what? I'm craving the pumpkin scented candle, so I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it very much. So in my mindfulness journal, the question is that I want to do together. So pause the video or keep watching and think about it simultaneously about what your responses would be to this. Write a list of positive affirmations. What are the messages you need to hear right now? What traits or inner state are you subconsciously cultivating? So the last question really resonated with me. What traits or inner state are you subconsciously cultivating? Because creating this new business has made me feel kind of like an imposter. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. People aren't gonna care. People aren't gonna buy my products suck, blah, blah, blah. But that's a narrative that I'm cultivating in my mind, and it's not the truth. And, you know, through being a believer, I just have to remind myself that so long as I put my best foot forward, even if this flops, it's gonna set me up for ultimately what God's plan is. And whether you believe in Christ or not, I feel like looking back on life, oftentimes we see where we have been guided and how decisions or outcomes that we felt should have been a yes that were actually a no led us to something way greater than we could have ever imagined. And that's kind of what I hear when I hear this when I hear this question. So I know that everybody has this little like devil on their shoulder, a little bit of negativity. So what can you ask yourself, or what can you tell yourself right now through positive affirmations to kind of quell that and quiet that? So go ahead and think about yours. I'm gonna think about mine. But yeah, I thought that was really powerful and I wanted to share. We just did 20 minutes on the bike. I'm feeling a little ripped. You see the abs? As I regain my composure. What the fuck? Luke loves these things. But we're gonna do a little bit of glutes. My back has loosened up. I'm gonna do stuff that doesn't require a ton of back. I hope it doesn't. But yeah, let's get started. Y'all, the scarecrow we just made just scared the crap out of me. Like, I'm surprised we pulled it together. She's looking pretty fire because it was kind of a mess the way that it was organized. So basically every month, the board of our garden club that we voted in, like the president, the VP, treasurer, whatever. It's basically just a social club and hold up. Okay, well, it's basically just a social club that I go to. And it's called Garden Club because it's based, like the organization above it, there's like a larger statewide one, is the Gardening Club of Georgia or whatever that is. And it's been around for years. I was invited by my sister-in-law, so throughout the 2 years that it's been around, people have just invited people that live in this community, like friends of theirs. And it's a really awesome way for girls that typically wouldn't be friends or find themselves in natural ways to meet each other, to come together. And we all live so close to one another that it's just really great to find people to have community with that live close by. Because a lot of my friends live in the city and I'm in Marietta, so I'm outside of the city. So it's a little hard to, you know, go see my friends because it just takes me so long. But anyway, I'm gonna do some Vegan Power Pro. I actually want to do the French toast today. I like the chocolate mint, but it's not like my #1 pick. All right, so I'm just feeling something cinnamony today. I am doing a first Phorm giveaway of a protein of your choice, either level 1 or the Vegan Power Pro. So if you want to enter that giveaway, you just have to go follow me on Instagram, and I may or may not create a post about it. If I do, I'm gonna pop what that post looks like here in the date. So you gotta just comment on there and on this video as to what your favorite workout routine is. From going on a long walk with your dogs to just doing a booty workout downstairs in your home gym, whatever it may be. Comment it below, I'm very curious. And for YouTube comments, I'm very curious to learn about if you guys watch workout routines, workout habit development, whatever, from other content creators. So that would be really helpful for me as I plan out content that I want to do in the next few months. So if you do watch content like that, please tell me. It's seriously a huge help to me and to the content that I create and provide for y'all. So without further ado, and if you've ordered from First Phorm before through my link or just order from First Phorm before, share your order number with me and you can get 3 entries rather than 1. So I'm doing like a triple whammy. This giveaway closes next Wednesday. Okay, so the giveaway is gonna close September 27th at noon Eastern time. The date is here, it's gonna be in the description as well. So if you want to enter, feel free to drop a comment here, drop a comment in the post that I make on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube and Instagram. If you don't have an Instagram, don't feel discouraged. Just let me know in the YouTube comments and that's totally fine. But it really helps me out because that's why I do these giveaways. I want you guys to try awesome products that I love, and I also want to grow my community. So I'm gonna be very transparent about that. So right now, you guys are on my Caraway box. If you've ever been curious about Caraway, I did a full product review showing how they've held up after 15 months of use. So I'm gonna pop a card here, you can go check it out. I recommend watching it if you're considering non-toxic cookware just in general. I go over what non-toxic means. I provide resources for you that are outside of Caraway. They're from like .govs and such, and they also have some like research studies as to what non-toxic means and why it is called non-toxic. So it's an informative video as well. I didn't wanna just do a review and not talk about what non-toxic means, because a lot of people, it means different things to different products, if that makes sense. Like non-toxic for cookware means usually that it doesn't have Teflon or some PFA chemicals that are harsh, but it could mean something different to plastic materials like BPA. So it's a molding thing. And I also later today want to clean this freaking dining room table. It's like our landing pad. Everything lands there, and it's so annoying that I just can't seem to get it cleared, but that's my mission today. I also have to return that pink tutu to Walmart because it didn't look good on the scarecrow. So anyway, we're gonna go shower, make eggs, and then go to, if we have time, I really wanna go to Session Stand. It's this coffee shop nearby that just opened its indoor area, and I want to go work there for a little bit before therapy at noon. Okay, let's go. Got a PO box. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Yay. I'm gonna put the address down below. You guys are welcome to send mail to me. I think it would be so fun to receive mail or get some snail mail if you guys want to do that. I am a snail mail queen. Nothing like it. Straight out the fridge, super cold. All right, I'm starving, we're gonna make some lunch. Also, I just got these jeans in the mail. They are Mother. I had a pair that I ordered before and they didn't fit right. I had to size up. So the washes all fit differently on Mother, I've noticed. So same pair of jeans I was wearing earlier, they're a size up because the wash just fits differently. So with Mother, you have to try. But I really like these. I feel like these are good for just like when I'm wearing sneakers or something, because they are a little above the ankle, but super cute and flattering. I really love investing in jeans because I wear them so much. I literally wear jeans all the time, and I love when they stretch a little bit, and these definitely stretch a little bit. So for you thick leg girlies like me, or if you just want comfort, doesn't matter what size your legs are, I highly recommend. I'm gonna link them below. But I really like them. Sometimes you can catch them on sale, which is what I did. Actually, no, not with this pair. The white pair I have, I caught them on sale. So we're gonna make a pasta primavera. I'm gonna show you guys how I do it. I'm eating some nutmegs because I'm starving. All right, first we're gonna chop up our veggies. So I'm doing zucchini, a squash, and some asparagus that I just snapped after washing. I'm not gonna use all of these veggies for the, whatever that's called, pasta, but I am gonna go ahead and prep them and saute them so I can just have veggies for this week. And we're gonna salt and pepper that. A little bit of garlic powder. Then I put some onion salt from Trader Joe's. There's just a variety of different spices in it as well, which I like on taste. Then make sure your hands are clean. I just mix it up. It's boiling over here. And I got a pan over here. Putting some lemon on here, about a quarter of a lemon. Oh. Yum! This looks so good, and I'm out of forks. So this is the truth behind the mess. We got crazy dishes over here and crazy dishes stacked up here. This is what it looks like to cook. I don't understand when it's pristine all the time. It's always nice when you can clean as you go, but sometimes that's just not reality. So it's okay. It's okay if it's a crazy town. But we're gonna do a big push for cleaning, but I'm gonna eat, watch some Ted Lasso, and then we're gonna finish our work day. Got a lot done today. I'll update you in a minute. Hello everybody, it is much later now. Did a little outfit change, same apron. It honestly was a really rough day today. Mentally, I was just not doing too hot, and I just know that I've had days like this before, and I just have to remember that I just gotta push through it because I'm gonna have amazing days ahead. It's just every once in a while there's a day that just goes, and honestly, this season of life just introduces, if you hear the air fryer, sorry, I'm cooking some cobia that Luke brought from Florida and making some sweet fries and then asparagus to go on the side, so yummy. Anyway, I'm gonna go away from the air fryer so you can maybe hear me. But yeah, today was a really rough day. A lot of self-doubt, a lot of questioning what I'm doing, just some personal stuff going on. So it was just a little hard to get through, honestly, and yeah, I just was very negative a little bit towards the later half of the day. In the morning I was feeling great, and I don't know, just a little bit of a road bump was hit and I just don't feel very good mentally. But I'm gonna eat dinner with Luke and we're gonna chill and just wake up tomorrow and do it again. So I may or may not end this here. If I do, thanks for watching. I'm so happy you're here. Please be sure to enter the giveaway for the protein powder if you want some. Remember, it's both the vegan and it is the vegan protein, or you can do the regular whey protein, whatever suits your fancy. And I will ship it to you and it will be delicious. So to enter, follow me on Instagram and subscribe to me on YouTube. Comment on my Instagram posts and comment below using the information in the description. But again, thank you so much for being here. Please be sure to subscribe. Follow me on wherever you want to follow me, but I'm just happy that you watched until here. But you the bomb, you the best. Thanks for being here, honey. I'll see you in the next. Wow, I rhymed. Call me Rapper Vero. Okay, bye.